I am filming my brow tutorial for you guys today. I've been getting a lot of requests to do this. I'm filming the intro for it really quickly just so you guys can see the difference that brows can make in someone's face. I have no brows on right now, but I have the rest of my makeup on, and I'm blonde obviously, so my eyebrows are very, very light, and that is why I love to fill mine in. Not everybody has to fill theirs in. There's tons of different brow products out there. You can do this tons of different ways, but these are my favorite products and my favorite method. Also, excuse my eyelashes. I have to get a fill and they are not looking their best. Before you fill them in, you want to brush them. I am just using a tiny disposable brush. I brush them. They're pretty even. I haven't waxed them in a while. I did just tweeze a couple before I sat down to film this, but this is what my brows look like before anything. It's really important to have a good shape waxed or tweezed in before you try to fill them in, because if you don't and you're not happy with the shape, they're just going to be a hot mess. So my favorite brow product to use is this right here. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade. It's called the Dip Brow, and it is in the color taupe. So the pomade, if you haven't used it before, it's kind of like a paint. It looks like a MAC paint pot, and this stuff is extremely pigmented. A little bit goes a long, long way. You don't need a lot at all, and you need a brush to apply this. My favorite brush that I've found for my brows, I've used this for probably 5 years. This brush is like 5 or 6 years old, and it's so old that the number is rubbed off, but it's a small flat angled brush. It looks like this. This is the MAC 262 angled brush. So it's just a flat angle, and I love this brush. It's very precise. It's the perfect size. I don't like flat angled brushes that are wider than this or smaller than this. So I find that this is like the best brow brush in my opinion. Before I start filling them in, I'm gonna show you guys how to brow map. That is key in getting your brows to look even and perfect. So when you look at your eyebrows like this, you want your brow to start at a certain point. This is gonna be different for everybody, but you can take your brow brush and you wanna hold it just like this. So from the corner of your nose going straight up to the corner of your eye, that is where your eyebrow should start. This is gonna be different on everybody because some people have wide set eyes, some people do not. So that's where you're obviously gonna stop filling them in. And then your tail, this is tricky. If you take your brush and you line it up from the corner of your nose to the corner of your eye, right underneath, that is where your tail should end, or that's where your tail can end before it starts to look funky. So you never want your tail to go past this line. Mine is a little bit short. I find that a lot of my clients' brows are a little bit short when it comes to the tail, and that's totally okay. I like to extend my tail to the line. Not everybody does. And then the arch, I see this all the time being in the beauty industry with clients that are older and just people who don't really know how to shape their brows. They start their arch way too soon, and that's something that you don't want to do. If you take your brush again, so from the corner of your nose to the corner of your eye, that's where your tail should be. Now, if you move it up to right here, the corner of your iris, your arch should hit right about here. So if you could just imagine your line like that, that's where you want your arch to hit, so you have that nice arch in your brows. I see all the time people will start their arch right here. So their brow will go like this, and then it goes ding, like a little like sperm brow. And then the rest of their brow from like here on is like skinny, and that is not a good look. It ages people. The body of your brow is the thickest, and then your brow should get a little bit thinner as you get from the arch to the tail. And the body of your brow, it looks best if it's a straight line. If you guys can see, but I have a straight line, and then I go up to my arch and my tail gets thinner. My brow is pretty flat for the most part. I make it a soft angle. Flat just means it's more flat. It's just really hard to get a nice arch and a nice angle. So I like to fake it. I like to soften my arch because naturally you guys can see my brows are a little bit pointy, and I don't like that look on my face. So I soften my arch a bit, and I also, I kind of like draw in my tail right here to give my brow a softer look. And when you fill your brows in, keep your forehead relaxed. I see a lot of times people go like this, but that changes the shape of your brow and you don't want to do it. So what I'm gonna do is just dip. I like to dip my brush both sides, and I wipe it on the side of the pot to get as much product off like I said, a little bit goes a long way. And what we're gonna do is I start at the arch. If you start at the front of your brow, especially with a pomade, it's too heavy and you never want this part to be the darkest part of your brow. The darkest part of your brow should really be your arch and your tail, and it should get lighter towards the start of the brow. That just gives a softer look, doesn't look as harsh. So I start underneath my arch. You can start on top, it's totally up to you. And I'm gonna start at the top of my brow. Doing with whatever's left on my brush is slowly going in to the center of my brow. You can see I'm not really putting a lot of product in the front at all. I like to put clear brow gel on my brows. I think that it takes away any powdery finish. It gives them more of a natural finish. So this is what my brow looks like filled in, and this is what it looks like not filled in. This is so normal for me that when I see this, I just like, it's so scary. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna speed through this one really quickly just so you guys can see, and then we'll be done. Concludes my brow tutorial. Keep in mind, I know this saying is super corny, but it's very true. Eyebrows are sisters, not twins. They are extremely hard to make 100% identical, and that's okay. If you follow brow mapping and like the guidelines that I showed you, you should be able to get them pretty even. I use only two products. I use the dip brow and then I use the brow gel. You can use concealer to really carve them out and shape them up, but you guys know I'm a mom. I don't really have a lot of time to like carve my brow out. I will do that if I am really going for like a detailed makeup look, but typically on a normal day I literally just use two products. I use the pomade and I use the brow gel. But if you are new to the pomade, you can definitely use concealer. You would just go underneath and that would really act as like an eraser, and you could clean your brow up super well with concealer. That's just another step, and I don't really have time for that step in my routine, but that's something that I always used to do, and that really makes them look perfect and on point. Also, I like to do my eyebrows before anything else in my makeup routine. They're literally the first thing I do, because if I mess up, I do have time to like clean them up and use concealer. But I did my routine ass backwards today for you guys so I could show you, because it just helped me save time in filming this, and I didn't want to do this whole thing with no makeup on and then have to do my makeup, and that would just take me twice as long. So typically I do my brows first. I know so many people do it differently. There really is no right way to start your makeup routine. Some people like to start with their face. Some people like to start with their eyes. I always start with my eyes, like literally my eye makeup, my brows, all of that first. So that's just my personal preference. Again, I just used my dip brow pomade and my MAC 262 brush, these two things, give me perfect eyebrows, and I am obsessed. I've been using the Dip Brow Pomade for years. I have tried multiple brow products in between that time, and I always go back to the brow pomade. There's nothing like it. Typically, if I'm going for a more natural brow, I will use a powder or a pencil. And let me know if you guys want me to make a brow tutorial using a pencil or a powder for a more natural look. I can definitely do that, but everything would essentially be the same. It would just have a different look at the end. So I feel like this is probably the quickest and most informative video I've ever done on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys. Oh my God, am I like possessed or something? I really hope you guys found this video informative and that you maybe learned something that you didn't know. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next, and if you guys would like to see more makeup tutorials, because I'm kind of liking the setup. Sorry my shower's dirty. I'm filming in my bathroom, and I moved my vanity into my bathroom, and I actually really like this. So let me know if you guys want to see more makeup tutorials, and I will start doing those for you all. Otherwise, I am gonna go put my shoes on and head to work, and I have clients all day. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I love you guys. Please check out all of my social media. It will be listed down below in the bottom bar, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
I've been running to my safe zone. I'm mad for a reason that I don't know. You're scared, feeling like I never come home. But I know when it's good enough to fight, when it's bad enough